This is Internet Marketing. Brought to you by SiteVisibility at sitevisibility.co.uk. This is Internet Marketing. Now, before we start today, we'd like to encourage anyone looking for help with their digital marketing to get in touch with SiteVisibility. Whether you have a burning digital marketing question or you're looking for an agency to work with, they'd love to hear from you. Give them a call, +44 1273 733 433, or you can fill out the form at sitevisibility.co.uk/contact, or you can talk to Scott or Sean via the live chat function on the site. They'd be more than happy to help. Now, today I'm joined by David Kelly, General Manager at KingSumo.com. David, how are you doing?
It is an absolute pleasure to be here. And the best part about this conversation, by the way, is your listeners won't know this, but we talked about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for about 20 minutes before this call even started.
Oh, God.
And very much I am in the supporter of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu camp. I will always be on your side, Andy, so you have me as support.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is David knows someone very famous in the BJJ world who I would love to meet. Anyway, less about BJJ, otherwise this will become a BJJ podcast. BJJ, of course, is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think you already said that. So let's talk about, let's talk about internet marketing. Let's start off talking about what you do over there at King Sumo. Tell us a bit about King Sumo.
I'd love to. So King Sumo is part of the Sumo Group, which your listeners might have heard of with sumo.com and appsumo.com. King Sumo is specific to helping people grow their email list, get more customers with viral giveaways. And we'll talk about this in a little bit, but what we notice is viral giveaways are one of the cheapest and most effective methods to grow your email list. And I am running the day-to-day operations as general manager, so I help guide the ship where I can, make weird jokes where I can, make mistakes where I can, and ultimately try to keep everyone going in the direction we need to.
That's fantastic. I actually want to drill down a bit into viral giveaways, which is a title I really like. But before we come on to that, I was just wondering, there's quite a few, viral giveaways, there's one thing you could do, but what are your favorite marketing strategies for 2018?
Oh, man, there's so many. So I think viral giveaways is one that's really, really effective. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Another one I think is working really well is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is just crushing it with the status updates. And people might have seen those status updates across their newsfeed. And of course, people take them to the extreme and try these like crazy, I used to be broke and now I'm a multimillionaire type things. Yeah. Realistically, we notice that when we post something that's authentic, a very short story, so under 1,000 characters, let's say, we get anywhere from 5 to 10 times the number of clicks via LinkedIn than we do with Twitter, despite having half the audience size. So it's a very, very effective medium. And I'd also say YouTube is really interesting. And the reason why I say YouTube is interesting is because it requires more effort to edit and create videos, which means that there's more of a market opportunity because the cost of entering is a little higher. But we've noticed a lot of really good results from YouTube as well.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting you mentioned YouTube because recently I know there's a sample of 2 is a really low sample, but I've had a couple of colleagues come to me, I think in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and both of them, interestingly, were talking about using videos on LinkedIn and how effective that is. Have you come across that at all, David?
Yeah, so I guess you have a sample size of 3 now. So I think this is just an internet fact at this point if 3 people say it. But I think YouTube, we've noticed, is very, very good for video. And what we've noticed, especially about YouTube, is fascinating, is SEO is a very zero-sum game. So I'm trying for the first 10 spots on the SERP page with SEO. With YouTube, I can actually leverage my competitors. So I can use the tags they're using and show up as a suggested video. And suggested videos for the big channels drive about 30% of overall channel traffic. So we notice that works very effectively. On LinkedIn specifically, we've noticed hit or miss on videos, and that might just be our audience.
How interesting.
But with YouTube, we've noticed it go very well.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I did want to talk about viral giveaways because when you go to KingSumo.com, I think that's one of the things it talks about on the homepage. Let's start off with a definition of a viral giveaway. How would you describe it?
Oh, man. So it's not a disease.
It sounds like a nasty little sort of rash you might get or something, isn't it? That's my dirty British sense of humour. I do apologise.
Yeah, thankfully it's not that. So viral giveaway is a little different in that you have these giveaways that like this person, for example, gives away a house or something like that. The Ronald McDonald Foundation here in the US will give away a house, for example.
Oh, wow.
A viral giveaway looks at leveraging your existing group of users or anyone who signs up for the giveaway and getting them to refer their friends or essentially act as salespeople for the giveaway. Now, what that practically looks like is, let's say I, David, refer you, Andy, to the giveaway. So I say, hey, Andy, just a heads up, like I found this giveaway. Here's a link. If you enter with my link, I get 3 bonus entries and you get a standard 1 entry. So I'm incentivized to share because it increases my chances to win. And then you're incentivized to share with your own network. So it really helps the snowball grow, the viral aspect of this social sharing.
Oh, right, okay. It does remind me a little bit of, you're probably too young to remember this, David, but do you remember,
Yeah.
And it's got a bit of a negative connotation, but I'm sure it's not negative, is pyramid selling. Do you remember pyramid selling?
Yeah, I know some of this, and I think there is some similarities in the sense of like you're leveraging your network.
Yeah.
What we do to make sure we always try to remain like authentic and very, very clear about the goal. We always just try to say like, hey, very clearly you can get 3 more entries if you refer a friend.
Yes.
And it will increase your chances to win. That, of course, depends on the percentage of people already in the giveaway. So like it could increase your chances by 10%. It could increase your chances by 0.001%.
Yeah.
There are no guarantees with that. But I think the concept is a really fascinating concept, which is just leveraging the social proof of humans and our networks to really help generate more leads very inexpensively.
So how does King Sumo sort of offer this service then to its users or clients? Probably a better word.
Yeah, we don't like charging for things because we don't like paying for things. So we try to keep everything as cheap as possibly can. So if you go to KingSumo right now, you can sign up for a free plan, or you can pay $99 for a lifetime plan where you get some custom branding, you get connection to Zapier, you get Facebook pixel tracking. So it's really easy to get started, and really one can just launch a giveaway in 5 minutes. And I think it's just a cool test to do because here's how I think about it, right? If I can launch a marketing strategy, and I'm a marketer at heart, in 5 minutes, and there are really good indications it'll be successful, I will launch that. And then if it doesn't work, I just won't go back. So there will be some people that giveaways don't work well for, and we can talk about the groups it doesn't work well for.
Yes, I was worried about that, yes.
Yeah, but overall, I think it's a really interesting test, and just why not try it?
Yeah. So, in your experience of this, are there certain verticals, certain groups this works for better than others?
Yeah, there definitely are. So one common misconception is people come in and they say, hey, I want to run a viral giveaway, but I don't have a big audience. I don't have this like huge network. I don't have a big email list. I don't have a big social following.
Yeah.
And that's actually okay. So that can work really well. And a good example of that is a few years ago, we had this guy give away Sublime Text Editor, which is a development text editor, very similar to Notepad, but for developers.
I know it well. It's nice.
Yeah, and he gave away a lifetime license, and he got something like 200,000 entrants, which is just insane. This random dude, random guy, no affiliation. So it can work really well for small businesses, and again, that's because of the viral aspect of it going from friend to friend to friend and going across all these different segments. Now, I think the groups it doesn't work well for, if you do very generalized prizes, that can be kind of dangerous because if I think about it like this, like, hey, Andy, I'm going to give away an iPad. It's like everyone wants an iPad, so you're not going to get very targeted or niche subscribers or leads. Yeah. So if you can find a product that is either your own product you're giving away, like a year subscription to your SaaS product or your physical book, or even an hour of your consulting or coaching time, that fits much, much better than giving away an iPad or a MacBook or a T-shirt or something like that.
I'm just going to pivot slightly on this show now because you seem quite young, David. How did you become general manager at such a tender age?
Oh, man, just luck and journeying. I think there's a lot of luck to stuff like this, right? So the short story of my career is I moved to San Diego about 5 years ago. I was able to work for this guy named Ramit Sethi, and I Will Teach You to Be Rich as a copywriter. And that opened the gateway in a lot of ways. And I was able to get that job because I'd read his material so much. I was able to understand and put together a wonderful application to apply. Then I managed to get in after that into this company called Student Loan Hero at the ground floor, which I was the first marketer for and sold to LendingTree recently for about $60 million. So very exciting news for the team. And really the reason why I got that job is because I had networked like crazy. I'd gone on LinkedIn, found people I thought were interesting in San Diego, and I reached out to them and I said, hey, I just want to pick your brain about your job, your company, your connections, and just learn about you. And I had really no friends in San Diego because I was so new. So more than anything, it was out of desperation. Yeah. And I think desperation often leads to us making decisions and trying things that are a little outside the box. And a lot of times they'll fail. There were a lot of meetups I went to. There were a lot of people I met that just turned into nothing or really were kind of weird. Yeah. It depended. But every once in a while, like my position at Student Loan Hero or my position now at my current company, I was able to get those positions because I had formed connections. I had worked really hard and showcased my work. And then the universe kind of just took care of the rest, or whatever happened just kind of happened.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, David, you mentioned LinkedIn then when you were doing your networking. You talked about using LinkedIn. Do you think LinkedIn is getting better these days for finding sort of interesting networking connections?
I think they can. I think they can be pretty good like connection places for finding people, right? And what I mean by that is, with King Sumo, we're trying to grow King Sumo. And one of the things we're doing is a lot of outreach. And one of the ways we're doing outreach is I find people on LinkedIn who have certain titles or work in certain industries. Yeah. So, for example, we've identified based on our existing user base and based on the very small sample size of people using the product up to this point, our new product up to this point, that authors are using it more often than other segments are. So I can go to LinkedIn and I can just type in authors, New York Times bestselling authors, et cetera, whatever keywords work, and find those people. And I would say if I put together an email, find their email address using a tool like Hunter.io, and then use a tool like Loom at useloom.com to record a very short video and say, hey, my name is David. This is what we do. This is how our tool can help you. It's totally free. We just want to get more people using it. It's an effective outreach strategy, and really one of the linchpins in that is the LinkedIn.
Yeah. So going back a little bit to what we were talking about originally, which was the various marketing strategies, specifically viral giveaways. If there was one top tip you might give our listeners today, what might it be?
For sure. So I'll preface it with this. I have actually a spreadsheet, or rather a checklist of something we put together for running the ultimate giveaway. So how to run a giveaway that's successful. If any of your listeners want it, we can put it in the show notes, or they need to do. You can email me at david@kingsumo.com. Happy to share that.
Definitely.
Now, I would say that to run a successful giveaway, there are just 3 things you need to do. Right. So one is to pick a prize that fits within your audience. So, for example, someone like you, Andy, specializing in some marketing, podcasting, like business type stuff, giving away an hour of your consulting time, for example, is a great use of a prize. Or giving away like some SaaS products, some marketing tools, maybe a year of Buffer, a year of Meet Edgar, stuff like that. Yeah. I think that works really well. And as an extension to that, a lot of people will say, oh, I don't have a prize, or I don't want to spend the money. Totally understand that. So what we've noticed is actually going directly to partners and companies you admire, saying, hey, I'm running a giveaway. I would love a free tool. In return, I'll link to you guys on our giveaway page. I'll link to you guys in our promotion material. Actually works really well, because the company is like, sure, this tool costs like $. Yeah. It costs us nothing to give away. We're going to get free promotion out of this. This person that's reaching out to us is a fan, so they'll speak highly of it. They'll become an influencer. It really leads to good results. So I think that's one thing. Yeah. The second thing is pushing really in places that you have a network. So maybe we talked about LinkedIn. Maybe you have a lot of LinkedIn connections. So posting the giveaway on LinkedIn and saying, hey, I'm running a new giveaway. Please share with your friends, or sending it to your email list, or sending it to social, or even just emailing like your family, and they can help you kind of jumpstart it. And then I would say the third thing is actually kind of closing the loop on all of it, right? So after giveaway is over, you have hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of entrants who did not win. You usually only have one winner. Yeah. So this is often forgotten about in not only business, but in marketing and in giveaways specifically. It's how can I make sure that everyone feels valued? So we've noticed this really fancy trick that's actually quite simple when we break it down. And it's when a giveaway ends, we send an email to everyone who didn't win and say, hey, heads up, you didn't win, but we're going to hook you up anyway. And we'll give them a discount code to buy the product on Amazon.
That's really nice.
A discount code. Yeah, a discount code to buy the SaaS product on our site, or some other type of thing that helps us generate sales and also helps us treat our customers and our leads with respect.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great tips there, David. So, David, thanks so much for coming on. How can our listeners find out more about you and more about King Sumo?
Totally. So you can find me at KingSumo.com or email me at david@KingSumo.com if you have any questions about giveaways. And then I have a personal blog where I talk about some marketing stuff, maybe some jiu-jitsu stuff every once in a while on dmkthinks.org.
Fantastic. That's DMK and then thinks as it sounds. THINKS.org.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Well, thanks very much, David. And thanks to our listeners for listening. The show notes are in the usual place. And we'll put a link, David, to that offer that you very kindly gave us in the show notes. They will be at sitevisibility.co.uk/IM podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us a review, because then we can, if we get reviews and they're decent, we can probably get to more people. Questions and suggestions, the email is podcast@sitevisibility.co.uk. You can tweet at SiteVisibility. We have a LinkedIn group called SiteVisibility. And that's it. So that's all from me, Andy, and it's all from David.
Goodbye.
And we'll see you next time on Internet Marketing.